Hello everybody, it's Angus here. You join me once again in the glorious Peak District. In particular, as you can see, my car's just over there, over my shoulder. I'm up on the top of the Snake Pass summit. And I'm with somebody today. As you can see behind me, I've got John. Are you a subscriber, John?
I'm indeed, yes.
Yes, I'm with one of my subscribers. I was just saying, it's a special occasion today. As I was leaving the house, I've got 50 subscribers. Who would have thought it? Well, thanks to everybody. Yeah, I met John on my Win Hill Wild Camp. He's also a fellow wild camper, and he got in touch and suggested we do a joint wild camp. So that's what we're doing. From here, we're going to head up to higher shelf stones, past the B29 crash site, onto Bleaklow Head, and then finally arrive at Bleaklow Stones, where we're going to do our wild camp. In the morning, we'll be heading down from Bleaklow Stones, along the ridge, down to Alport Moor, Alport Castles, and then finally arriving back at Ladybower. Right, well, we're going to plod on. Well, we're about halfway up, well, probably a bit more than halfway up, on our way to higher shelf stones at the moment. John's just over there, and there's lots of other walkers. Seems very popular. Yeah, this is probably the steepest bit. I'm already out of breath, but I'm a bit of a lightweight. Right, well, I'll swing round to the other camera and do a 360, and then we'll plod on. What a fantastic view from up here. John's just walked round the corner while I do my bits of camera. The weather is absolutely glorious. I think you might be able to see the Snake Pass just over there. Probably can't see it on this camera, but I think I can make out my car. What a glorious view. I'll swing round to the other camera and give you a better view. And the things I do to bring you a good view of the countryside. I'm even going to climb up here. Wow, look at that. What a view. Right, well, here I am at the trig point on top of higher shelf stones. We're going to be heading on that way towards the B29 crash site. Weather's lovely, nice and windy, which is well, it's keeping me cool. Right, well, without further ado, we're going to plod on up to the B29 crash site next. Well, we've just arrived at the crash site of the B29 bomber. Feels quite sad being here. Was it 8 or 9 crew members all died? There's still people that leave their marks of respect, as you can see. One thing I've noticed, the metal, it looks like it was put here yesterday. Never seems to tarnish. It's quite a wide dispersion pattern for the wreckage. I'll switch to the other camera and give you a quick guided tour around. Well, this is the I don't know what you'd call it. I suppose you'd call it a little shrine. It seems to be at the centre of the wreckage. Well, it's all over the place. I'll walk up to one of the engines. Huge things. Look at the size of them. They're big pistons. And there's some more over here. And there's a little stone plaque as well, which I'll let you have a look at.
Did you get a service? No, not really.
Yeah, it's a remarkable spot to visit, this, but tinged with a bit of sadness. John's over there talking to some fellow walkers. We're going to head from this B29 crash site, and our next stop is Bleaklow Head, which is over that away somewhere. My navigation skills are shining through again. Over there somewhere. Might be over there somewhere. I'll have to have a look on the map. I should remember it really. Right, well, we'll plod on. We've just arrived at Bleaklow Head. You can see it there over my shoulder. It's a lovely evening. We've got about a mile to go now up to Bleaklow Stones. John's sat just over there. And yeah, we're making good progress. It's about, I don't know, guesstimating about 5:30 at the moment. So, as I said, I think we've got about a mile to Bleaklow Stones, which is where we're heading to next. Right, well, before I sign off, I'll switch to the other camera and do a 360. thought I'd come and join you up here. Well, it's not exactly a trig point. It'll do, I can say I've touched it. Hey. We've just arrived at Bleaklow Stones. I'll turn round. There you can see it, and in particular you can see what they call the anvil stone. Wonder how it got its name. John's just ahead of me, having a scout round. What I'll do is, as I get a bit closer, I'll switch it to the camera and give you a better look around at the gaffer tonight, where we're planning to camp. Yeah, and then after that we'll have to spend some time looking for a flat spot. Right, well, I'll switch to the other camera as I'm walking up to the anvil stone. Right, well, as I said, I'm walking up to the anvil stone now. The rock formations around here are amazing. Well, they always are when you get up on the tours on the Peak District. But yeah, here's the anvil stone in all its glory. As I said, I wonder how it got its name. A very famous landmark, this. Alright, well, John is, I don't know where he's disappeared to. Oh, he's over there. Right, I'll climb up on this rock and give you a 360. Look at the view from up here. It truly is a 360 view. Well, as I said, we're now going to look for somewhere flat where we can get a couple of tents pitched. There's a place just in front of me here, down below. They don't look too bad. Plenty of other places. As I said, it's I think it's about 6:30, 6:45. So we're going to spend a bit of time looking for somewhere to pitch up. I'll speak to you in a bit. Well, here we are at Bleaklow Stones. We've just made camp for the night. I've got my replacement Polestar. I sent the other one back to Alpkit because of those issues that I had on my last video with the tension straps, the internal tension straps. But I'm happy to report everything's fine with this one. Again, it's a bit blustery up here. About an hour and a bit left, I reckon, till the sun goes down. You can see it over my shoulder. The moon's out. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Well, I can see it anyway. Yeah, so I'm in my Alpkit Polestar. I'll switch around to the other camera and give you a better view. John's in his Lansham 1. Cracking little tent. I've got a Lansham 1, but I'm envious of the colour of John's. It's kind of earthy brown, blends in well. Mine's one of those horrible lime green that stands out and can be seen from space. Right, well, as I said, we're all pitched up now. We've got everything sorted. I think next will be, well, for me it'll be a beer, and then might be looking at getting some food on. Well, as I said, I'll switch it to the camera and give you a good look at the tents. Oh, yes, this is my replacement Alpkit Polestar. And, yeah, those tension straps are working a treat. Everything's nice and square, taut. I don't know, overall I think it's more of a placebo effect, but it just feels like it's a better quality tent than the last one. Hopefully nothing's going to go wrong with this one. It looks fine. First time I've used it, but if it's anything like the last one that I sent back, it should be great. And yeah, John's in his Lanshan 1. What's your kit in there, John?
Trekology 80 something with 80 mattress, OEX, down, sleeping bag, and then another sleeping bag as well because I'm such a wuss with the cold.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Another thin AliExpress special.
Yeah, better to be too warm than too cold.
Exactly.
Well, as I said, I think the next stage is boots off, and for me, I'm going to have a beer and then think about getting some tea on while it's still light. Speak to you in a bit. I'm a bit windswept. I'm just sat in my tent getting some shelter. John's just gone off for a wander. It's about 10 to 8. So, it's time for a beer. I've got one of my McEwen's Champion 7.3s with me. One of my favourite beers. It's all I seem to drink. I'm not an alcoholic or anything like that. I only really drink when I'm wild camping. Well, I'm going to enjoy this. Cheers, everybody. Good health to you all. Oh, that's good beer. Well, John's just come back. Absolutely beautiful evening it's turned out to be. Got the blue sky there above me. And yeah, I'm quite happy now. I'm sat in the leeway of this shelter, out of the wind. As you can see, I've got my warm coat on, and I'm having a thoroughly enjoyable time. Right, well, I'm going to shut up and drink this beer, and then I might take my boots off and think about getting some food on. I'm sat here. The sun's about, well, I can't see it from here, to be honest. I was just saying to John, we were speculating about what time it was. It's about 10 to 9 at the moment. And yeah, we've not got a bad little spot here. We're in the leeway of some rocks. And yeah, we've just been having a good old chat. Just occurred to me, I'm just saying, the time has flown by. It only seems like 2 minutes ago when we were pitching our tents. Yeah, if you can hear, as who was it? Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars film when he was talking about lightsabers versus blasters. If you can hear a noise in the background, that's John with his gas cooker. How uncivilized. Talking about food, I'm going to get the Trangia out in a moment, and before I do that, as what normally happens in these videos, I'll show you what's on the menu tonight. You've probably seen this before. I think this is probably the third time. Next time I'll bring my macaroni, cheese and ham dish. Anyway, let's get back to the cooking. I'll swing round to the other camera and show you what's on the menu. Just ask John if he liked my Star Wars analogy there when I said how uncivilized. I think he's laughing politely.
Yeah, not the prequel Star Wars though. All the latest ones, they don't count. The originals.
I obviously the first three are better. The prequel ones are okay, apart from that Jar Jar character.
Yeah.
I'm hoping somebody's going to be able to edit him out and make a version of that. I've been looking for one, you know, so the story still makes sense. Only including when they have to, like in the when he's in Parliament or whenever. And but any type of film that Disney have had their hands on, they're just ridiculous. Like, let's invent a new Darth Vader. What sells? Someone in a black mask. Right, let's make his whoever it was. Anyway, digress. Back to this is what happened. This is why time flies. We just keep chatting, and yeah, you can see my new socks in there. I hope this doesn't scare viewers off. Sealskin, waterproof. In case I step in something that goes over the top of my boots, it won't be a total disaster. And it just occurred to me while I was chatting to John, technically, as long as I don't step in anything that a sheep has done, I'll be able to get up in the night without having to put my boots on. Right, well, yeah, anyway, back to the food. I'm rabbiting on. Cheddar cheese instant mash, tin of beans and sausages from Tesco's, and then for an afters or a pudding, I've got one last tin of McEwen's Champion 7.3. So, without further ado, it's time to dig out the Trangia. Lovely and silent Trangias. Not like that thing over there. Damn, he heard me. Anyway, back to my cooking. All tucked up in my tent at Bleaklow Stones. I'm keeping my voice down because John's turned in. I'm about to do the same thing. Yeah, it's been a fantastic camp. The weather's been really nice. The wind's minimalistic. And I am really impressed with this Alpkit Polestar, this replacement. The tension straps are working. It's really holding its position. And yeah, I really like it. Well, in the morning we're going to head down along the ridge to Alport Moor, and then on to Alport Castles, and then down to Ladybower. There was some tough slog on the way up here, especially between Bleaklow Head and where we are now, Bleaklow Stones. Thank heavens for GPSs, was the cry. It might be a case of that tomorrow on the way to the ridge. It's all part of the adventure. Right, I'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning, and welcome to I'm just getting my brew, or what's left of it. Welcome to a very blustery morning on top of Bleaklow Stones. We're all packed away. John's just over there. I'm just finishing off this bit of a brew that I've got left. Oh, and yeah, from here we're going to head off in that direction down towards the ridge, which will take us to Alport Moor and then Alport Castles. Now we're expecting some tough terrain, especially going along the ridge. On my last video, an old chap came walking along once I got my tent pitched quite late at night, and we were talking, and he said he'd just come from Bleaklow Stones. That old chap, I said, was it one of those where you were going from stick marker to stick marker? I says it was like that when I went to Marjorie Stones along Middle Moss footpath. He went, there weren't even any bloody stick markers. He said, I was dead reckoning with my GPS. And I says, oh yeah, I know that. So that's what we've got in front of us. Just bumped into, you might be able to see them in the distance. Over yonder. Look like husband and wife team. They've just been wild camping just past where John is. We could see their heads bobbing around this morning as they were packing away. Talking of packing away, still got my Trangia out, and as per usual, bits and bats because I've just had a brew, but everything else is packed away, so just going to get that all stowed and then we'll be ready for the off. Well, the weather's certainly brightened up since we set off. This morning we were actually within a cloud. You can see behind me Bleaklow Stones, where we set off from this morning. You've got Grinner Rocks just there. I can't really see, the sun's in my eyes. Yeah, and we're at the trig point. We've just been discussing, me and John, what's this hill called? Behind us we've got the ridge which leads down to Alport Moor and Alport Castles. But yeah, it's absolutely turned lovely at the moment. As I said, it was all hemmed in and cloudy, rolling clouds going by. But now it's a blue sky and the temperature's got warmer. We've dropped down in height as well, so that's one of the reasons, but mainly the sun's out. Right, well, I'll have to keep this short because my battery's nearly running out. Right, bring you back later. we've just walked along the ridge over Alport Moor, which is behind us there, and we've arrived at Alport Castles, place where I was just a couple of weeks ago. You can see the tower there behind me, and just over there on the cliff edge is where I camped a couple of weeks back. We've made really good progress. It wasn't nearly as bad as that old man said it was going to be. I think it was more difficult terrain yesterday. But what a lovely morning. Anyway, I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I'm low on juice. I'll switch the other camera and give you a proper view. So yeah, I'm walking as close to the cliff edge as I dare, which is probably about here. I'll get a bit further. There's the tower in all its glory. Right, well, just thought I'd give you a quick update. We've just come down from Alport Castles, across Rowlee Pasture, and we're heading, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, it's like a green bit. That'll take us to the sty that I fell off in my last video. I've just been showing John the outtake of when I fell off. Still quite amusing to look at. Anyway, we've probably got less than an hour now till we get back to the car. So, without further ado, we'll plod on. Well, we've just come back from Alport Castles down through Rowlee Pasture, and we've arrived back at the car park at Ladybower. Now yesterday I met John here, and we drove in my car up to the top of the summit on Snake Pass. So that's what we'll be doing in a moment. John's going to kindly drop me off back on the summit of Snake Pass. So, I'm a bit out of breath. I'll speak to you when I get back to the car. I'm back at the car. John's just dropped me off, and he's heading off back home. Yeah, there it is behind me, and that's where we went yesterday. It's very noisy here with all these cars. Yeah, so the route yesterday was from here up to higher shelf stones, the B29 crash site, Bleaklow Head, Bleaklow Stones, where we did our wild camp, and then we walked down from Bleaklow Stones along the ridge, across Alport Moor, Alport Castles, Rowlee Pasture, and then back down to Ladybower, where John had his car, and as I said, he's dropped me off here. Well, again, what another fantastic wild camp. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and yeah, it was different going along with somebody. Things like just chatting, the time flew by. As I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you did also. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you've got any comments or questions, feel free to post them. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, or even subscribe if you haven't done so already. Right, well, I think I'll take the rucksack off, throw it in the car, and head off back home. Until next time, I'll see you again for another Hengist Wild Camps. Until then, cheerio for now. Bye bye.